I guess what the big problem is with most people and the spiritual information is that our understanding of life and our individual experiences are very limited, right? Most of us have life in these chunks, these big fat chunks of good and bad. So we go through life putting stuff in the good box or the bad box, good box, bad box, and it stops there. That sucks. What you learn when you actually study and practice these things is that the line starts to blur in the middle, and those two boxes become several boxes. That's what I mean by a lot of this granularity, right? Because that's what granularity is. It's zooming into that fine line and it becomes gray. And you start to see that those two boxes aren't even really, they're relative. And relative reality is not ultimate reality. There's two kinds of realities. There's relative, which depends on your experience. And there's ultimate reality, which is what it is, regardless of what you say or feel about it. And it seems that we have a better time acclimating to life when we're able to align our relative experience as closely as possible with ultimate reality. But really, that can only happen through active study and practice. That's why a lot of this information gets misinterpreted and misunderstood, because it's very delicate and people try to force it into a good and bad box, right? As soon as a limited mind comes across the Hindu pantheon or, all these different Vedic deities, they think, oh, they worshipped a bunch of different gods. Not understanding that there's so much more to it. Oh, I don't believe in astrology because it's just floating rocks. Not understanding that there's so much more to it.
That's the reason why it's getting so hard for me to even start communicating with people, bro. Like lately I've been dealing with a new side of my irritation, which is dealing with people that are ignorant and tend to judge me just because I'm the outcast from how they think, Like, I am at a point where, I'm trying to socialize with people or keep the old friends or even socialize with certain kind of people without me have to intaking to the play that they want to do. Like, homie, like my homeboy, we just went to go chill with some people, like some girls the other day. And then he's like, I'm trying to, because I see they're of the same energy. I'm like, all right, you guys want to play around? I'm going to put you down with someone that's trying to play around with me and I'm not down to. But then it's like, to him, it's like, bro, you're a square. Why don't you want to do that? I'm like, bro, I'm doing techniques where I need to cultivate my energy. And I was like, you know what? Let me just show you a video that you can understand from. I showed him a YouTube video of a dude doing tantra to someone without having sex with them. I'm like, can you do that to a woman without touching? So what the hell you judge? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just trying to open his perspective, but it's just frustrating because it's like, I don't know, the disconnection. I can see and accept, the past side of myself through that in a way, because I was never that aggressive when it came to it. But the little stuff, bro, it's hard to even maintain friends now for me, even women friends, unless they're into the same stuff that we're into, which I appreciate those relationships. You know what I'm saying? A lot more because I was raised by women. So, yeah.
I feel you. I know what you mean. When you start speaking on these type of topics that are a little bit more sensitive, and when I say sensitive, I mean they're not easily judged as good or bad because they're not meant to be judged. When you start bringing these kind of topics up to the average public, they kind of either struggle.
Look at their phone.
Yeah. If they are paying attention, then it's like they struggle to force it into one of those boxes, like immediately. So it's easy to offend people with this kind of thing, even when you're not.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, even when you're not trying to offend people.
And then they always go to, what is it called? Escape routes. Like, not everybody's the same, man. You live your life, you live mine, I live mine.
Yeah.
There's nothing good or bad in life. And it's just like, bro, yes, I like your perspective, but you're stuck at like a level of looking at it that way. You know what I'm saying? I told my friend about semen retention. He's like, something that I realized, because I have a lot of Aquarius friends too. You know, their planets is one of the slower moving planets, Aquarius and Capricorn's planets. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so they have strong mentalities. When I think of like a slow moving planet, they have very strong mentals, and they take a while to adapt or see something in a new view, right? So for example, the government, Capricorn sign. So I always kind of look at it like that. Told this man about semen retention. It took him till this year, which is amazing, to be like, yo, Curve, I see what you were talking about. Because before, when I brought it up to him, he's like, man, I can't do that. A nigga gotta get a nut. You know what I'm saying? Then I just laughing. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But it's just like, bro, there's more you can do. And then, you know, these are the same people that's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to change my life. I'm going to be this, that. And I'll even speak to them at their level. Semen retention helps you manifest faster. Man, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. It's like, damn.
I'm trying to hear that.
I'm like, bro, I'm not even speaking good or bad. I'm just speaking a fact that is going to play out no matter how you believe it, you know? And it's like, oh, this nigga thinks he knows it all. All right, let me just stop talking.
Yeah, semen retention. I didn't want to hear that shit. I didn't want to hear it for the longest time. Fuck all that. Nigga trying to get me nut. But trial and error, wow, there's something to it. Just like the monoatomic gold and ormus and colloidal silver and all that. I tried it in the past because I thought it was like this magical get rich quick thing. Didn't work. But I think when you combine all these different things together with the intent of spiritual growth, it does what it's supposed to do. But there's also more to it, you know, because we're at the end of the day, we're talking about attachment and releasing attachment to certain things. The less that you're attached to, the more you're one with source. It's funny to me. It's all about attachment. The body's, it's here and it's going to do what it's going to do regardless. Things are going to happen in life because that's the way that it's supposed to be. But it's all about what we identify with, what we cling to, what we attach to.
Yeah. It's a matter of how you look at it. And it's also a matter of how you're looking at it is a direct correlation to your ability to raise yourself to look at it in a broader sense. You know what I'm saying? And that takes work, you know. So I say in the book, Faith Without Works is Dead. I always ask, these Christians, what is this work? You know, what is this work that it is discussing? And they always, well, it's feeding the poor and all of this. And it's like, because that's just that's a human thing. You know what I'm saying? That's like a thing that's generated from human thought. And that's a trickle down effect from a cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be feeding the poor, if we had a different mindset. So that can't be the thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. Feeding the poor, that's just, doing charity and stuff like that. This is a touchy subject for some reason. I don't know why people find it so hard to think deeper about it. But obviously, if somebody needs help and you're able to help them, obviously, you know what I'm saying, go out and do that. But I think we get caught up in when people try to save the world. They try to save the whales. They try to save all the battered wives of America. They try to save all the kids. You can't do that. It's not in your sphere of influence. Like, you literally can't do anything about it. We got the politics and we got, McDonald's workers want better wages or whatever. It's ideal, if you feel compelled to support these causes, and you can, by all means. But if you cannot, and you just sitting up here getting worked up and frustrated to argue and bitch and complain, like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.